What's good, Pembroke Army, and welcome back to some more Warzone Wamblings with Team RPG. We have got Shane, myself and Domi. We were actually missing Dogger today, and also on a separate note, we've only got a little bit of Warzone footage because the game has been buggy as hell, so we filtered it out with some more Modern Warfare 3 gameplay, which you'll see later on, and it will actually be the first time you see it on this channel. But enough of that, we are talking about book number 3, which now has a title, Insidious Valour. And all of you who follow me on Instagram have somehow might not have seen this purely because Instagram has just been really dodgy lately. The only sort of views that I'm getting or engagement I'm getting are from photos or selfies or videos where I record myself talking to the camera. So for those of you that have missed the title for book 3, it is Insidious Valour. And this title was actually going to go towards my Alien project that I'm writing on the side. All of you know I'm a massive Alien fan. And the title itself, I had 3 in the bag. The first one was going to be Chapters of Wrath, then Season of Pain, or Insidious Valour. And I was speaking to one of my beta readers, Chava, about this. And she said that Insidious Valour really fits with the title of the first 2 books, The Taste Beneath and Diseased Intentions. I was going to go with Chapters of Wrath because the book itself is actually in 3 separate parts. So I thought it made sense to have, the phrase, chapters in there itself. And Season of Pain because this book is primarily set over winter, and a lot of them, the first 2 books, were mainly set over summer. Even though there was a bit of winter in The Taste Beneath, there was a time jump 7 months later. But back to Insidious Valour, and I absolutely love this title. And the theme I'm using for the thumbnail of this video is going to be the colour theme for the book cover, once I've spoken to Dean properly about it. The book itself, in terms of, I've mentioned that it's broken down into 3 parts, and I've had to take a lot of different courses of action, particularly when it came to The Taste Beneath and Diseased Intention, because I've mentioned loads of times they're slow burns to begin with because I like to build up that tension and that mystery. I've had to switch it up here because I can't really have slow burners when I start parts 2 or part 3 because people want to get right into the thick of it and see what's going on from these different perspectives. And that's been a challenge within itself because as much as I have enjoyed making it more action orientated compared to my other books, I've wanted to try and not to throw stuff in the reader's face, rapid fire stupidity. So everything's had to make sense in that sort of regard. But the first 2 parts have been received really well by the beta readers. And also not just fall into the trap of the constant threats or the constant action is specifically enemy based, especially within the first part. The action mainly comes from Ryan not knowing what's going on, and being that this is a post-apocalyptic environment, I've scaled it back to what The Taste Beneath was, and it's more the supply situation, those kind of things. So the action in this, there's a part where Ryan and Drinker have to go out because there is a big problem going on, and they also have no communication with Ren, so they don't know if they can get any more alternative supplies anywhere. And this was really enjoyable to write. I've actually fleshed out Drinker a lot more. He got his introduction at the end of The Taste Beneath, where he was going to be that comedy element, and he got a lot of time to shine in Diseased Intentions. But now, because Mikey's in Ren, Drinker has sort of stepped up, and I was going to give some more time to Dominic, but I feel like him just being the voice of reason sometimes, just the calm person that he is, I thought it was better to put Drinker up front and just give him a lot more time on the ball. And also, from a female perspective, I've fleshed out Cassie a hell of a lot. I made the mistake in the first part of where I actually wrote some stuff from her perspective, and it just didn't quite fit. So I've written it all from Ryan's perspective, but still fleshed her out more. And a lot of you are going to like the changes that she sees. I know from a female reader point, obviously I've got Cassie, I've got Steph, and I've got Jen. Even Sandra and Maisie at times, even though they're not the forefront characters of, everything that's happening. Cassie has come into her own world. She's a lot more Jen-like now. And I think that's really going to hit home with a lot of female readers. She's had the most character development so far. And part 2 being away from the vineyard and specifically focusing on Harper and Rook. that was a challenge in itself, because obviously as much as Mikey is there in parts of this part, you know what I mean, in moments of part 2, it's all from Rook and Harper's perspective to try and find out and flush out, you know, that mole that Admiral has inside the European alliance. And to keep it fast paced, especially with the external mission to Liberia, switching back and forth between Ren and Liberia, a challenge within itself, but I've also given a lot more nuance and a lot more character depth to both Rook and Harper, and I think a lot of things they do and experience is going to give you more of an insight to them and understand just them as characters, because as I said, everything's in the first 2 books is mainly from Ryan's perspective, so you get to see how he feels about what decisions these characters make, but now you actually get to get into their heads. And it was a challenge at first, but yeah, I've loved how it's come out so far, and I'm halfway through part 3 right now. I'm looking to have that finished by the end of this week. Then I can start the rewrites and send it out to my beta readers on the 14th of December. And another thing that was a challenge with this book is this is the first book I have written. I nearly said thirst there. I need to have a sip of water. This is the first book I've written whilst I have full-time work, so I've had to learn how to balance my writing time, and I essentially have to give a full day off to writing, because I'm doing patches here and there, and as much as I'm getting words on the screen, there isn't really much in terms of, when I go back to do the rewrites, you know, I'm missing a lot in terms of tone and consistency, but that's something I'm working on. And the fact that I can work a full-time job and both do YouTube and write a book is something that I've dreamed of for a long time, so I'm in a good place to get it all done now. And yeah, even these videos itself, like I'm recording this now, it's 1:15, and I started editing this video at 12, so even these videos take an hour and a half, never mind the gameplay that was recorded yesterday. There is still time that goes into everything, but I'm managing to balance it well, and Insidious Valour is going to be its own standout within my book series. It's going to hit hard. There's going to be a lot of things in there that are going to cause a lot of controversy, considering especially how the world is going right now. And some people will get offended by it, some people won't. I've mentioned loads of times it's fiction. I don't care. I don't believe any of the stuff that I actually write. It's just a story. It is just something in my head that I put to get out there. But this one is going to be faster paced and more to the point, and it's going to hit home hard. But that's pretty much all I can give away so far. I will be starting the snippets soon. Next time I'm on Warzone, I will be using these 2 classes. Anyone who knows me knows I love an AK-47. In real life, that gun has 0 recoil. And this is the sniper you've seen me use in the last 2 videos. This is the closest I could get to Sam's Kar 98K, but this is actually more like the L96 that the regular guys use in my books. But that has been just this short little podcast to bring you up on Insidious Valour. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'm uploading once every week. Don't expect great gameplay on Warzone. If you did like this video and you're looking forward to Insidious Valour, leave a cheeky like. Much love. Take care. Peace.